I look at it from a bigger picture perspective and not necessarily from the game itself. I'll start with the bigger picture. Then maybe go into the game later on. So 2 weeks ago when you were in Lagos, remember what I told you? Yeah? I said, this is where you need to make some brutal decisions. Yeah? Because it will be unfortunate if you end the season with nothing. And the way you're going, if you're not careful, if you need to cut out the noise and just focus internally and massage those 9 points. I remember I told you, I don't care about the FA Cup. I don't care about the Champions League. But that 9-point gap that you have, you had better massage those 9 points to turn into a championship. These were, I'm paraphrasing, but these were almost
pretty much
the words that I
almost
said.
Verbatim.
That's what I said. Yeah. So when I saw the lineup against Southampton, I was like, now I'm talking, right? Because it was literally, if we don't have any other choice than for you to play. Those were the people that played the game. So you see, Dauman started. Who else?
Mosquera.
They started one of Mosquera or Gabriel. I would have done worse. I would have benched Gabriel. Yeah. I would have just said, you know what, this FA Cup, I'm just going to play the kids. If we lose, we lose. Because that game, you ended up playing some people, right? And somebody got injured. Was it Gabriel? I was happy.
Gabriel got injured. He was able to come back, but he did get injured. Yeah.
But it's obvious he's carrying a knock.
Yeah, it's obvious. Yeah.
He's carrying a knock till now. So I will start with the Arteta side of things and the bigger picture, right? I like the lineup against Southampton. I'm not worried that we lost at all. Southampton is on a brutal run right now. Yeah, even they beat Wrexham 5-something or the away next game. They're on a tear right now.
Right,
and Wrexham is way ahead of them. So they're on a tear. So I don't have a problem with that. The Lisbon game went exactly the way I thought it would go. Exactly the way I thought it would go. Professional performance, just don't lose. I was happy to get a 0-0 draw and leave Lisbon with 0-0. More than happy. But we got the last minute win. Okay, we go. The Bournemouth game is what I would have done things differently. One of Zubimendi and Rice don't have a business starting that game. These guys, they're carrying knocks and they are drained. You heard me? They are drained. No, I didn't look at the sequence very well. The sequence that led to Southampton's second goal is because the Southampton midfield left our two defensive midfielders behind them. That typically doesn't happen. The two of them, bro, they are drained. That's a no-guard game. I'm sorry. That's a no-guard game. Either way, it's a no-guard game. That is a Lewis Kelly starting a midfield game. Either way.
He had a great game, by the way, at left back. He
had playing in midfield.
Yeah. I know.
Because you saw what happened. So in the second half, Zubimendi and Rice were literally running away from the ball. They were, if you watch the game, they were not coming to receive the passes from the defenders anymore. So it was just Saliba going to Rice going to Saliba going to Gabriel. The midfield was tired. And the only option you had on the bench was what? Eze and Nogard. I'm surprised. Yeah. Did Nogard come on for this? I think Nogard came on later on. He didn't.
I don't think
so. Who came on? I can't remember who came on the game.
Zubimendi came out, but Mosquera came in. I don't think
Mosquera came in instead. I don't know what the lineup was at the end of the day. But you see where I'm going with this. This is the point where you need to cut out the external noise, right? And use your squad to its max. Because of issues like this, I would have loved if we played Bournemouth and we lost to Bournemouth, but Rice got to rest. Zubimendi got to rest, right? Do you understand? Saliba got to rest. Gabriel got to rest. I would have preferred that. So that you say, okay, this second leg against Sporting Lisbon and the City game afterwards, then I need to focus on those games. Your team is on fumes. Your team is drained. In 3 seasons ago, Arsenal went on a how many, I don't know, one lengthy unbeaten run.
Yeah, like 18.
Where they only lost to Villa. It was only a loss to Villa, I believe.
Yeah.
Guess what happened during that time? There was a 3 weeks vacation in Dubai before then.
Yeah.
And the team came back and they were on fire. Last season, that didn't happen. They didn't have a trip to Dubai. This season, it didn't happen. They didn't have a trip to Dubai. Unfortunately, you increased your squad strength and your squad quality, but even the quality is injured. Do you understand? Merino is off. Saka is off. Odegaard is off again. He's injured, right? Who else? Timber, who people have underrated over the years. It's now obvious that, yes, I'm not blaming Ben White, but Ben White is not at Timber's level now because he's also just coming back from injury. He hasn't played himself into form, right? So right now, the team, like I said 2 weeks ago, the team is on fumes. Saka is nowhere to be found. I don't even know what injury Saka has. I think this, if you check now, if you say what injury does Saka have, they just say undisclosed injury, out indefinitely.
He has everything.
Out indefinitely. Odegaard played 45 minutes. He had a knock. He wasn't even on the bench against Bournemouth. He's off again.
Squad.
On a good day, Eze will not be on the bench yesterday. On a good day, Nkapie will not be on the bench yesterday. But they were both on the bench yesterday, and Eze had to come on. So my point is still, by the way. And he played well. So my point is still bigger picture. Yeah? You need to massage this 6 points gap that you have now. You have to find a way to massage this 6 points gap to the rest of the season.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. For the game in itself, Akin, everything you said I agree with. Bournemouth are a perfect side. Bournemouth have not played for 3 weeks before they played Arsenal. They've been chilling. Bournemouth don't have anybody injured. You saw the way they were just making changes. They were bringing on better players than the people that started. And I'm like, this is a problem. And I knew the game was going to... A Saturday 12:30 kickoff has always been a problem for Arsenal.
Someone asked him
exactly
about that. Yeah.
Especially after an away championship match. Yeah? So for me, the next 2 games, it is all about squad management for Arteta. I'm telling you, it is purely about squad management. Yeah? And if you might have to make some serious decisions, especially given that City is after the game on Wednesday. You understand what I'm saying? So you can say, okay, I'm going to play full strength against Lisbon, especially who is available. And the game against City, I will try and play full strength also, right? But the mentality for that game, you need to be, you need to.
You can't do that. You can't do that. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you what will happen. Right? Rice and Zubimendi need a break.
They do.
You have to choose which of the games you're going to give them a break in.
You don't need them against Lisbon. You don't.
So let me retract what I said. I was just giving like an example. Yeah?
Okay.
So hear me out. You need to make a call. Those 2 games, either one must rest in those 2 games. That's my point. Or you will say, okay, the Lisbon game, we don't need them. Okay, I'm going to rest the 2 of them. You have to manage. This is where the trust in your squad comes into play. If you had everybody, if you had the full complement, then of course, you know. But if you don't have them, you need to be careful the way you use the people that you have there. One last point before I hand over to you, Aki.
Go for it.
I noticed something, and I'm not sure it's a thing, but I don't know the answer to this question. Who captained Arsenal yesterday?
Oh, I noticed too. It was Rice. It wasn't Gabriel. Gabriel is next. So
why was it Gabriel?
The leadership,
the hierarchy
right now is Odegaard, Saka, Gabriel before Rice. You know, Jesus is no longer on there. Gabriel played, Rice captained.
That had never happened before.